Welcome to our 92nd anniversary of Southern Public Affair of Northern Ireland and the Northern Ireland Forces of World Independence. The first item of always is the right and welfare of the sovereign citizens. And I would now like to call on Councillor Jerry Green, the Lord Mayor, to light the candle for all volunteers. Proclamation of ours. We'd like to pick up that the back of it. It's our allegiance to the 1916 proclamation. Proclamation of the sovereign government of Ireland to the sovereign citizens of Ireland, Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generations from which he receives their oath of nation. We, the sovereign citizens, confirm our allegiance to the 1916 proclamation, the 1916 rising, the implementation of the sovereign republic of Ireland, exactly and verbatim as defined in the 1916 proclamation, our sovereignty. The 32-country election from GHQ was declared in 1918 that established the sovereignty of the 32 countries and the democratically elected TDs to Dáil Éireann on the 21st of the 1st, 1919 in the Mansion House Dublin. All Irish people became sovereign citizens and Ireland became the sovereign republic of Ireland. Dáil Éireann and the Dáil Éireann courts, four courts became sovereign. To uphold the right of the sovereign constitution of the first and second Dáil Éireann, the sovereign trinity was placed on behalf of the Irish Republican Brotherhood and Old and Ahern in the cabinet room in the Mansion House Dublin at 12 noon. The sovereign seal is psaltery of 12 strings AD 1919, the ohm pole with the tricolour and the harp of the psaltery 12 strings BC. The state became the sovereign republic of Ireland on the 21st of the 1st, 1919. The sovereign trinity and the proclamation to be elevated and placed in all government and public buildings. We place the cause of the sovereign republic of Ireland under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessings we invoke, and pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity or rapine. Signed and sealed under the sovereign seal of the sovereign republic of Ireland, William James McGuire, President of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, President of the sovereign republic of Ireland, keeper of the sovereign trinity, the sovereign seals of the sovereign republic of Ireland. I would now like to ask the Lord Mayor to read the 1916 proclamation.
In the name of God and the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organised and trained her manhood through her secret revolutionary organisation, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizens Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to release herself, she now seizes that moment and, supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to, and hereby claims, the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally, and oblivious of the differences carried by an alien government, which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of her men and women, the provisional government, hereby constituted, will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity, or rapine. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clark, Sean Dermody, Corey Pearce, James Connolly, Thomas MacDonagh, Eamon Cant, and Joseph Plunkett.
I now will read and turn this over to see. The Sovereign Republic of Ireland commemorating the 92nd anniversary of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland, the 92nd anniversary of Dáil Éireann, the 92nd anniversary of Dáil Éireann Courts, the Four Courts, the 92nd anniversary of the War of Independence, Anno Domini 2011. I, William James McGuire, elevated and turned from this centre to Mansion House Dublin, the sovereign seal of Dáil Éireann, 12 strings AD, a Christian symbol and ethos, from the rising sun to the setting sun, from north to south, and from east to west, and from wrong to right, and from evil to good, and from pagan to Christian to sovereign, as in 1916 proclamation. And I claim sovereignty over all the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and all therein and thereof, on behalf of some citizens and the Sovereign Republic of Ireland, man's intellect and reason, signed and sealed on this day, the 21st of January, Anno Domini 2011, under the sovereign seal of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland, William James McGuire, President of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, President of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland, Keeper of the Sovereign Trinity and Sovereign Seals and Harps of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland. That's all our territory now, which is the largest, I believe, in Europe now. The 21st of the 1st, 1919, the Sovereign Republic of Ireland to the 21st of the 1st, 2011. I, William James McGuire, claim sovereignty over all the territory, rivers, lakes, seas, fishing rights, mineral rights, licenses, and all assets of the state on behalf of the sovereign citizens and the Sovereign Republic of Ireland and the Irish Republican Brotherhood, signed and sealed on this day, the 21st of January 2011, under the sovereign seal of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland, William James McGuire, President of the Irish Republican Brotherhood and President of the Sovereign Republic of Ireland. I place those on the tripod, and I will now turn the sovereign seal. I turn it from the rising sun, that is the sunship carrying it, from the rising sun to the setting sun, that's 12 noon. That's the setting sun, it goes underneath the world, comes up again. From north to south, and from east to west, from pagan to Christian to sovereign, as in the 1916 proclamation, man's intellect and reason. And I will show that in a second. I would now like to call on James O'Sullivan to read the Declaration of Independence.
Declaration of Independence, first All Ireland, January the 21st, 1919. Whereas the Irish people is by right a free people, and whereas for 700 years the Irish people has never ceased to repudiate and has repeatedly protested in arms against foreign usurpation, and whereas English rule in this country is and always has been based on and fraud and maintained by military occupation against the declared will of the people, and whereas the Irish Republic was proclaimed in Dublin on Easter Monday 1916 by the Irish Republican Army, acting on behalf of the Irish people, and whereas the Irish people is resolved to secure and maintain its complete independence in order to promote the common weal, to re-establish justice, and to provide for future defence, to secure peace at home and goodwill with all nations, and to constitute a national polity based upon the people's will, with equal right and equal opportunity for every citizen. And whereas at the threshold of a new era in history, the Irish electorate has, in the general election of December 1918, seized the first occasion to declare by an overwhelming majority its firm allegiance to the Irish Republic. Now therefore we, the elected representatives of the ancient Irish people in national parliament assembled, do in the name of the Irish nation ratify the establishment of the Irish Republic and pledge ourselves and our people to make this declaration effective by every means at our disposal. We ordain that the elected representatives of the Irish people alone have power to make laws binding on the people of Ireland, and that the Irish Parliament is the only Parliament to which the people will give its allegiance. We solemnly declare foreign government in Ireland to be an invasion of our national right, which we will never tolerate, and we demand the evacuation of our territory by English garrison. We claim for our national independence the recognition and support of every free nation in the world, and we proclaim that independence to be a condition precedent to international peace hereafter. In the name of the Irish people, we humbly commit our destiny to Almighty God, who gave our fathers the courage and determination to preserve through long centuries our ruthless tyranny, and strong in the justice of the cause which they have handed down to us We ask His divine blessing on this, the last stage of the struggle we have pledged ourselves to carry through to freedom.
The message to three nations.
The nation of Ireland, having proclaimed her national independence, calls through her elected representatives in Parliament, assembled in the Irish capital on January 21st, 1919, upon every free nation to support the Irish Republic by recognising Ireland's national status and her right to its vindication at the Peace Congress. Nationally, the race, the language, the customs and traditions of Ireland are radically distinct from the English. Ireland is one of the most ancient nations in Europe, and she has preserved her national integrity, vigorous and intact, through 7 centuries of foreign oppression. She has never relinquished her national rights, and throughout the long era of English usurpation, she has in every generation defiantly proclaimed her inalienable right of nationhood, down to her last glorious resort to arms in 1916. Internationally, Ireland is the gateway of the Atlantic. Ireland is the last outpost of Europe towards the west of Ireland, towards the west. Ireland is the point upon which great routes between east and west converge. Her independence is demanded by the freedom of the seas. Her great harbours must be open to all nations instead of being the monopoly of England. Today, these harbours are empty. They idle solely because of English policy. He is determined to retain Ireland as a barren bulwark for English aggrandizement. And the unique geographical position of this island, far from being a benefit and safeguard to Europe and America, is subject to the of England's policy of world domination. Ireland today reasserts her historic nationhood, the more confidently before the new world emerging from the world, because she believes in freedom and justice as the fundamental principles of international law, because she believes in a frank cooperation between the peoples for equal rights against the vested privilege of ancient tyrannies, because the permanent peace of Europe can never be secured by perpetuating military dominion for the profit of empire, but only by establishing the control of government in every land upon the basis of the free will of a free people. And the existing state of war between Ireland and England can never be ended until Ireland is definitely evacuated by the armed forces of England. For these, among other reasons, Ireland resolutely and irrevocably determined at the dawn of the promised era of self-determination and liberty that she will suffer foreign dominion no longer, calls upon every free nation to uphold her national claim to complete independence as the Irish Republic against the arrogant pretensions of England, founded in fraud and sustained only by an overwhelming military occupation, and demands to be confronted publicly with England at the Congress of Nations, in order that the civilized world, having judged between English wrong and Irish right, may guarantee to Ireland its permanent support for the maintenance of her national independence.
I now would like to call upon Harry Brown to read the sovereign constitution. Control constitution.
The Constitution of Dáil Éireann, more commonly known as the Dáil Constitution, was the Constitution of the 1919-22 Irish Republic. was adopted by the first Dáil at the first meeting on the 21st of January 1919 and remained in force for 4 years. As adopted, it consisted of only 5 short articles. Article 1 declared that the Dáil had full powers to legislate and consist of representatives elected in election by the British government. For the exercise of the executive power, it created a cabinet answerable to the Dáil called the Iraq, headed by a Prime Minister called Príomh-Eire, also known as the President Dáil Éireann. The Constitution made reference to the judiciary, but does not prevent the Dáil from establishing a system of Dáil courts. The final article of the Constitution declared that it was intended to be a provisional document in the sense that it was subject to amendment. As adopted, the Constitution came to only around 370 words, in comparison to the modern Constitution of Ireland that has approximately 16,000 words. Overall, the structure of the document was roughly as follows. Article 1, Dáil Éireann, Article 2, Ministry, Article 3, Chairman of the Dáil, Article 4, Finance, and Article 5, Amendments.
I'd like to call on Dr. Rúil O'Donnell to say something.
Fellow citizens, I'll be very brief. I personally believe as an historian and an Irishman, this is an important ceremony that is necessary for us to reflect on the past, to do what we can to draw strength from the traditions of our political structures in this time of national emergency. It's worth pointing out that today marks 2 anniversaries. The first, of course, is essentially the establishment of the modern Irish state through Dáil Éireann and its offices. It is also the anniversary of the War of Independence. And it's deeply unfortunate that we were obliged as a nation to rise in arms against our former imperial power, Britain. It should never have come to that. It came after a long period of working the constitutional systems in a time when Britain and Ireland were not democracies. And I think that it's worth bearing in mind that the first remotely democratic exercise in the history of these islands, including our first cousins in England, Scotland and Wales, was the general election of 1918. That was the first time when virtually all adult males and some women had a chance to vote. It is the first genuine parliamentary process in the history of Britain and Ireland. And in that election, an overwhelming majority of the Irish electorate endorsed the Sinn Féin strategy of Irish nationalism and Irish Republican sovereignty. It was absolutely imperative that that will should have been respected by Westminster. Unfortunately, it was not, and we have the twin-track approach of the creation of the modern Irish state in the midst of a war. Sadly and disastrously for all of us, 32 counties entered that war and only 26 emerged, with 6 hived off to remain under British jurisdiction, which has been a never-ending source of instability throughout these islands ever since. And at this time, I think it behoves us well to return perhaps, at least philosophically, to the ideals of the 1916 proclamation, incorporating the democratic programme of the first Dáil, and to hopefully draw strength from that in this time of crisis. That perhaps by rededicating the entire body politic of Ireland towards a progressive strategy, a national emergency, in which all modern Irish political parties have a part to play, we will emerge from this crisis in a better situation. Of course, we cannot continue to ignore the partition of Ireland. A constitutional path currently exists to address that. In my personal opinion, the Good Friday Agreement should be absolutely operated to the fullest extent possible to resolve that. Otherwise, it will come back to haunt us. Can we stand over a situation where in one small Atlantic country, in the midst of a chronic economic crisis, that we have 2 currencies, 2 technological zones, 2 sovereign governments attempting to administer the most basic fundamental precepts of statehood? It is untenable, and hopefully in the future we will return to this situation when we will have what we had in 1916, we had in 1919, which was a 32-county sovereign Irish Republic. Thank you.
somebody called President Geary, who was an esteemed member of the Irish Republican Brotherhood, Sinn Féin, and London and Ireland. Fourth President of India.
Dear friends, the former President, V.V. Gilling's association with the Republic has been understood very well. It was not only V.V. Gilling, along with him, the several Indian leaders associated with the Republic of Ireland. And we, over the years, have grown from strength to strength. And India's relationship with Ireland today is probably one of the best. We continue to maintain and nourish and cherish that relationship and the values that both of us stand for. And we thank you, and we continue these strong ties, and we would like to see that it grows even further for the betterment of the people of both the countries. Thank you.
I say that India's independence, the GA was the backbone of our independence, but India didn't have something like a GA. But it was when England imposed the Liverpool salt tax that united the Indian people. We would have met Mahatma Gandhi in South Africa, and that came out of Bones Hotel. President Geary was in Bones Hotel. He was here during the 1916 Marathon, and their constitution was our constitution is our tricolour the other way. And there is a great link there between our two nations. I would like now to thank you. Well, it's a day of celebration. I didn't want to bring our sovereign debt and things in, but we can. That's our point. With sovereign seed on the front and the heart on the back. We only recognise that's the sovereign trinity. You see it there? That's what we put up here, the sovereign trinity. Sovereign seed with 12 strings, the Christian symbol and ethos. Anno Domini, it's 2011 now. And the tricolour on the Om stick, it's written in Om. Om is the first string. Second string is hieroglyphics. Amen down to right. It's the first language of mankind. And the harp is the covenant between God and man with all the information knowledge for his planet Earth. And you interpret that, if you take, the Irish Republican Brotherhood believe all children are born sovereign. And you interpret that the four elements, earth, air, fire and water, which I refer to man's intellect and reason. And I refer to man's 5 senses. That's 9 strings, and the other 3 strings is the sovereign trinity. That makes it 12. That's the sovereign seed of Dáil Éireann that makes everything legal and bona fides. And on the tricolour, it's the only symbol that's allowed on the tricolour, and it's the sovereign Republic of Ireland when you see it on the tricolour. I put those on the tricolour today because I claim those today, and that's what's important. But that is a terrific, if you look at the harp, the old covenant between God and man. You know, that is for measuring the circumference of the sun, the moon, and the planet Earth, famous sovereign trinity, and this famous triangle coming down to Earth. It's also the feathers of the wheel. That is the blueprint for the current. It's the sunship carrying the sun in all directions. They're the sun beings that grow all our food and our biomass. There's the present moon. That's the moonship carrying the moon. The moon, it controls all the cycles of life, all the tides. The sun box and the sound box, the winter and summer solstice, the rainbow. Everything you want to know, the eye, you tread the eye with knowledge. You tread the eye with light, you measure light and time. You tread light and shade. That's how the sundial, the compass, the wheel, all these strings, hieroglyphics, how men learn to count, how men learn to write, how you write music, all our civilization, all the Celtic designs. And you see the grid and the graph, how geography, how a map is composed. Everything you want to know, how man learned to weave his clothes, everything's on that. And I'm standing between on my left and on my right, male and female. and that is the sovereign trinity. You are sovereign citizens. That's where it comes from. And I think we should know about the sovereign trinity. All our language is all from the first letter of it's the O alphabet. And the first letter of all the woodland trees. That's why we do. But you cannot, that is all our civilization. If you want to construct a wheel, there you are, the feathers of the wheel, the strings become the spokes. Then that becomes the hub of the wheel, and you tread the hub of the axle, so man can travel the world. That's how perfect proportions. That's the key to the ship for the Atlantic Ocean, to steady the ship. They had all that information, and that's where it comes from. And that's where our civilization comes from. And we shouldn't lose that. I wasn't going to say something on that because I'm sure you'll find it long enough to do. But I would like to thank the Lord Mayor. I would like to thank John Hassett, James O'Sullivan, Harry O'Reilly, Ewan O'Donnell. I'd like to thank our Arthur Sneed. And I would like to thank the Indian representative for coming today to celebrate. It's the 92nd anniversary. It's my 47th time our Independence Day. And we're hoping to go now after the sermon to the GPO and read the 1916 proclamation. The people at the outside have asked, would you go out and say a few words to them? We might even read the proclamation they asked. It's a request from them. And I don't know whether you will do it or not.
Yeah.
Will you? Will you read the proclamation? Yeah. And I can take the scene. Do you all copy?
Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organisations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizens Army, having patiently acted her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment. And supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign people and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms. Standing on that fundamental right, and again asserting it in arms in the face of the world, we hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state, and pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to, and hereby claims, the allegiance of every Irishman and every Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an ailing government which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government hereby constituted will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonour it by cowardice, inhumanity or rapine. In this supreme moment, the Irish nation must, by its valour and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf of the Provisional Government, Thomas J. Clarke, Sean McDermott, Pádraig Pearse, James Connolly, Tomás McDonagh, Eamon Cant and Joseph Plunkett.
Could we have the little girl
Turn around. Can we just get past it there for a second? Just get past it there. We just keep down this in the crowd. Is that alright? Sorry, no. Just turn around and come down. You can do it. Yeah, I wasn't thinking. I'll say it and get out of the way and then you can shout. That's the thing. Speaker there behind me. Just turn around. Just turn around. That's it. Just hold it out and out to the camera here. Put it out here. Push it way out towards us. Straight out here. That's it. And looking in here. Getting a little closer to it. That's it. Straight up into the camera. That's it. Just looking up here. Hold up the proclamation more, Lord. Hit the cameras, lads. Straight at me here. That's it. That's it. And he's got one this way.
Stay there, stay there.
Different.
Yeah.
Now, just if you just move over there, can you brush your hair off your glasses? No, just brush your hair off your glasses. That's it. Okay, lovely. Just up to us here. That's great. You're just hiding your face there. No, you. Okay, so. Lovely, lovely. That's it. Okay. Just up this way, Lord Mayor. Oh yeah.
I'll take questions at the end, so I've got to get the information through. Yeah? 29.